Plaintiff Lerna Smith says soon after she started dating the defendant, he moved in with her. Lerna says she worked 2 jobs while the defendant sat at home all day playing video games. And now she's 5 months pregnant with his baby and knows he's not going to do anything to support her. She's suing her ex for unreturned property, medical bills, and emotional distress. Defendant Corey Outlaw says he treated Lerna like a queen when they were together. Despite the fact that he wasn't working, Corey insists he cooked for Lerna and walked her to and from work every day. Corey admits that he damaged a pair of Lerna's shoes, but insists the phone she's suing for was a gift.
Tell me what happened.
Well, I met him in the summer of 2008 through a former friend. And he came over, I braided his hair. He left my house with a pair of my Jordans. What he was going to do with them, I have no idea.
A pair of your gym shoes or something?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You gave them to him?
No, I didn't give them to him.
Loaned them to him?
No, sir, he just took them.
You saw him taking them?
Yeah, I seen him take them. I didn't think he was going to leave with them, but he had them in his hand and he left.
What did you think he was going to do?
I have no idea. That's why I said I don't know why he
well,
even took them.
let me tell you, in the future, when someone puts your Jordans in their hand and they start walking away, that means they're taking them. So next time, have an idea, all right? Go ahead.
Sir. And he told me that he was going to return them, and he never did. I went to go get them from him, and he sent me a text message saying that his dog ate them. So after that, I kind of cut him off and didn't talk to him for a while. And I say a couple months later, in the end of October, beginning of November, he came back to my house and never left. He didn't work, so he was at my house.
He lived with you from then on, you're saying?
Yes, basically. He came to my house and never left. I didn't mind the company because I had just broke up with my ex-boyfriend.
So the answer is yes? You allowed him to live with you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead.
So he came, never left. I worked a lot. I had just got a promotion at one of my other jobs, so therefore I was working 8 to...
You had how many jobs?
2.
How many did he have?
None.
Did you suggest that he get a job?
I mean, I really didn't care what he was doing.
You didn't care that he wasn't working, living with you, and you were working 2 jobs. That was fine with you?
I later put him out, though.
Okay, so it did become a problem.
Yeah, it became a problem, but like I said at the time...
Why did it become a problem?
Because it just got overwhelming for me.
You woke up to
it. Basically,
right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead.
So my other job gave me a promotion, so I was working 8 to probably 18 hours a day. I was doing doubles and everything. He was staying at my house every day, all day.
Playing video games?
Basically, yes, sir. That's
eating all the food.
There.
Let me hear from you, sir. Give me some background.
Okay, our relationship between me and her, it was a short relationship. It was like 3 months long. And like we had sex the first day, and after that, and it went from me staying and spending the night, we would spend the night to staying there with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I left one day and came back, and she had the little clothes I had there, she done washed them, folded them up, and slid them in the drawer. I'm like, where are my clothes at? They in the drawer. So I felt welcome. Obviously, she wanted me there. So I was there, Your Honor. And basically, throughout the whole relationship, you know what I'm saying, I basically treated her like a queen. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a job then. I'm a hip-hop artist. I'm signed with a label. I don't got time for a job to where I'm trying to give to her. It's Mochetta Records in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, go ahead.
But basically, I treat her like a queen. Like, I cook breakfast for her. I cook dinner for her. You know what I'm saying? I walked her to and from work. Like, and even on her birthday, she wanted to drink. And she wanted some Patron. So I bought her like $25, $30 bottle of Patron. On the day of her birthday, it's December 7th, so it's cold outside, wind blowing. And, you know, I'm sitting up in the house. I felt bad if I ain't get enough for her birthday. So I'd walk like a half an hour. It's cold, it's freezing. Thin jacket on, no glove, just nose running. All the way to Walmart. It's her 19th birthday. I got her a card, put $19 in the card to open up and play music. Got that for her, got her some balloons and got a teddy bear. And the teddy bear's in the box. So it couldn't fit in the bag, so I had to carry that, walk with it all the way back to her house. So basically, you know what I'm saying?
You're saying you were a nice guy.
Yeah, and throughout the whole relationship, I never called out her name. I never put my hands on her. I never even yelled at her. And as she used to tell me, her relationship before me, she was with her ex. And remind you, he like 6'3". She used to tell me they used to fight and all that. So obviously she wasn't used to the way I was treated.
Unreturned property, how does he owe you for that and the medical bills?
Okay, well, he broke his phone one night. He got mad because he claimed that he was trying to be all on me at night while I was sleeping. And when you work, you're tired.
What does that mean, all on you?
I don't know. I was sleeping. I was asleep at the time.
Go ahead. You don't have
to. But that's what he said. So And he got upset and he went outside and threw his phone on the ground or whatever. And he broke it against the concrete. So I said he could use my phone because his SIM card was still working. Mine was off. So I said, you put your SIM card in here, you can use my phone. That was a $527 phone. It was an iPhone. I got the receipt to it right here, too.
See that? $500 phone. I don't have a $500 phone. But of course, I only work one job. Maybe that's the difference. If you work 2 jobs, you can afford a $500.
This is what the phone looked like. It's one of these phones. And I told him he could use it. I never told him he could have it.
My kids got that. I think that's exactly the type of phone my kids got. At least my daughter, one of my daughters, Kamara, exactly what it is. Oh, that's gonna be gone tomorrow. All right, thank you.
And I told him he could use it, and like I said, it became overwhelming to me at the end of December. I said the week of New Year's Eve, I told him he couldn't stay there anymore. Like I said, it only went on for 2 months. Like I said, he came the week of Halloween.
Got that part. No, he wouldn't return the phone, obviously.
Nope, I broke up with him. He said, we'll talk about this when I come back. He decided to come back and get all his belongings when I was gone at work, knowing that, knowing the hours I work. He came back while I was gone.
So your property is for the cell phone and the Jordan sneakers?
Yes, sir.
And what medical bills does he owe you for?
And before I put him out, we both knew it was a possibility that I was pregnant. And I told him that I wasn't ready for anything like that. And the whole baby thing, that was all his idea. I never told him that I wanted to have his baby or anything like that. So,
but you knew when he was all up on you, as you say, that it might happen.
But let me get to the point when I brought that up to him and told him that it wasn't for me and I wasn't ready. He told me that he would pay for my medical procedure. So with that said, I found out that I was pregnant. I say like between the second week of January, I called and let him know. And he asked me like why didn't I want to keep it and why I didn't want to be with him. And I told him because I didn't love him. So therefore, I wasn't going to shortchange myself to be with him and bring a baby into this world when me and him weren't going to be together. And he wasn't really trying to hear that. He basically just blew me off about that whole situation.
All right, let me get back to him before you get to the medical bills that you're suing him about. Sir, what do you want to tell me? She says you didn't return her cell phone that you borrowed, nor the gym shoes that you took.
Okay, as far as the shoes, Your Honor, this was way before we dated, when we first met each other. And I was over how she braided my hair.
But you took
and we was playing. I did take her shoes, but I put them in the car. I was finna leave. I called her. I was like, I'm finna bring your shoes back up. She was like, nah, just bring them back tomorrow because I was supposed to be coming back over there. So before I brought it back, I set the shoes in my house. I have a 95-pound pit, and he chewed one of them up. Now I didn't want to give it to her. For the phone, I did break my phone, but it was on.
And you borrowed hers and you haven't returned it?
No, I broke my phone because I had a small phone.
No, hers though.
Yeah, her phone.
Did you borrow hers?
No.
And you don't have her phone now?
I asked, can I have her phone?
Do you have it?
No.
Did you ever have it?
Yes.
So she
I had it the whole relationship.
She gave it to you?
Yes, I had it the whole relationship.
You're saying she gave it to you, good enough. Now, what do you want to tell me about the pregnancy?
Well, the pregnancy, like as far as how our relationship ended.
First of all, she said she didn't want to get pregnant and you kept insisting. Is that true?
No, sir.
You didn't want her to get pregnant?
We had unprotected sex.
But you didn't want her to get pregnant, right?
Yeah, we talked about it.
You talked about it.
How could you talk about having a child and you didn't have a child?
I'm talking about doing sexual intercourse. You just all in it and you get to talking about it. Wow. She trying to make it seem like, see, she.
So you said you only talked about doing the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what I mean? You in that mode.
Folks do a lot. They talk about a lot of stuff.
Even like,
go ahead.
She talked about she didn't love me and all this. I got a letter stating, but I want you to the point where I do anything for you.
All right, let's see your letter. And let's get to this point about
I would have brought your poem if I would have known we was doing it like that.
I wrote you a poem that showed you how I was treating you.
Boy, kick rocks.
Ma'am, how does he owe you for the medical bills?
Like I said, he told me that he was going to pay for that for me, and he did. He never did, and I ended up getting.
You have the bills?
Mm-hmm.
Sir,
I ended up getting really sick.
No, sir. First of all, when we
broke up... You never promised to pay any of the medical bills?
No, sir.
All right, that's all I need to know from you, ma'am. He says he never promised to pay.
He didn't say that. He didn't promise that he was going to pay that. What happened was I got sick in January and I figured that he was going to give me the money to take care of what he said he was. And since he never did, I'm stuck with that medical bill right there. And I didn't have insurance at that time. I have it now with me being pregnant, but they're not going to pay for any previous bills. And that, like I said, if he would have did what he said he was going to do, I wouldn't have never had to go to the hospital.
All right, emotional distress. You want $1,000 for what?
Because he told me that he was going to take care of that for me, and he didn't. So now I'm 5 months pregnant, stuck with having a baby, and I'm finna have to take care of it for the rest of my life while he gets to live his Mochetta life or whatever. And, you know, he gets to continue to do what he want to do, but yet everything that I had planned is on hold now because I'm finna have a baby.
And none of that occurred to you when you were having unprotected sex?
Like I said, and we talked about that, and he said that he was going to pay for it. Whether he paid for the whole thing or just
young lady,
money,
that is terrible that you would contemplate having unprotected sex based on the assumption that if you became pregnant, you would have a procedure. That is terrible. Ma'am, I'm just going to get right to the judgment. I believe he owes you for the cell phone and the sneakers. He says that you gave him the cell phone. I don't believe that, nor do I believe you gave him the sneakers. However, I can't grant you anything for your medical bills or anything stemming from your pregnancy because even if he agreed today that it was his child, you have to have an order of payment from a family court judge. The judge has to say, okay, I want you to pay for this portion of the medical bills, and I want you to pay this much per month for child support. And until you have that, you can't get anything. You aren't even legally entitled to one diaper. It's the right thing for him to do. It's the moral thing. It's the ethical thing for him to do, but it's not legally required until a judge orders that he contribute to the care of a child. That's why when men put up money, don't take me to child support court, he's crazy. He wants to be taken to child support court if he's given money, because once he gets to court and he says, well, I've been given $100 a month, Your Honor, for 5 years. No, he hasn't. He doesn't get credit for it, even if he presents the evidence. Well, Your Honor, that wasn't for that. That was for something else. In other words, a man can give on behalf of a child and never get credit for it when it comes to child support orders by the court, because the court has to determine how much is paid, how often is paid. And so unless you're under court jurisdiction, I can't enforce anything relating to the pregnancy. Hopefully, when you deliver the child, he'll be working by that time and you can receive court-ordered child support. All right, but I will grant you $632. And hopefully, young man, you learn to do the right thing altogether, and that is not have unprotected sex and talk crazy during the heat of the moment. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
I'm going to still be working, doing what I've been doing, taking care of me and mine. He's not going to be anywhere. I'm sure he's not going to be anywhere to be found.
She told me that she ain't even want to have a baby. I told her if she ever thought about having a baby, because I'll take care of it. She said she couldn't do it by herself. I told her she could give me custody.
With no job.
But she told me she'll get my baby up for adoption
no job, no
before she
money
give me the
means
baby.
you can't take care of a baby. Yeah, I'd rather give it to somebody who has a job and
There
can.
was no job then.
Who has a job and can.
There was no
who has a
job
job
then.
and can, unlike you.
Like I told her, even though we have our differences, if we're not together, we can still take care of this baby together. That's her with the attitude.
Whatever.
She got the grudge. I have no grudge.
Your hands are way
against her.
too close, bruh. Whatever.
I have no grudge.